Hey everyone, and welcome to the live stream. I'm Father Roderick, and I'm here in the sacristy right after Mass for Geeks. This is the very first live stream after Mass that I'm doing, so I'm using my gimbal. That is why I can hold the camera and the phone a little bit away from me. And normally, hopefully in the future, we'll be able to share, I don't know, pizza or something like that. I wanted to do that for today, but since I had to prepare everything for Mass myself today, I just didn't have time to order pizza. But it's good to see you all in the chat. During Mass, I can't see your names, but I can see Adam is there, and Marguerite, and HK, Nate, Mom, and Stephen, and Stephanie. Stephanie, good to see you. I already heard your intention for the Universal Prayer. Lawrence is there. Kieran is there. Good evening. Wow, Javier, Alice. This is the sacristy. Yes, here behind me you see Pope Francis. Is one of my bosses, and then next to him is Cardinal Willem Eyck, my bishop, and then there are two smaller portraits of the auxiliary bishops. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed Mass. Guten Abend, guten Tag, herzlich willkommen. And I'm going to give you a short tour of the behind the scenes. So Inge is does all the magic behind the scenes. Can you show me a little bit how that works, Inge?
Yeah, this is two computers. This is the one operating the camera,
Uh-huh.
and this is the one where I monitor the chat and the output. So it's now on super wide on the church.
Yeah.
So that if you are reading, for example, then I go to the lectionary here,
Okay.
and then I can.
Yes.
I have a list here that says what the shots are. So
Right.
But I know, so I cannot go from super wide to super close up. So I have to do in between shots.
Yes.
To prepare. So.
And the camera is being steered by this program. This is in a web browser, comes straight from the camera, and we can pre-program the shots.
Yeah.
And this is just one camera because we're preparing a second camera,
Yeah.
but our switchboard is not there yet.
Yeah.
I'll pick that up.
So yeah, when you are doing adoration, I have to manually adjust because there's no pre-configured shot for that. So then you see a little bit shaky.
Right. Yes, yeah. It's we're getting better at this. Every week it's looking better.
But I know how Mass works, so I know what's coming. So that gives me some preparation time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I suppose that this is quite different from what you normally do with podcasts, where you're in the chats and you just.
Fortunately, I don't have to police the chat because Samuel is doing that for us.
Okay.
So I know that's okay, and I can just focus on the shots.
Yeah. Yeah, Samuel is in Sweden. He had his birthday yesterday, so happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Samuel, happy birthday to you. I have no idea how to say that in Swedish, and I'm not even going to try, but I don't want to insult you, but happy birthday. Thank you so much for all you do for the community. It will be more difficult for Samuel to keep doing the moderation because it's usually the time that he prepares food for his family.
Yeah.
So, but we'll find a solution. There are so many people that are helping out.
Yeah.
Samuel says, "Thank you guys. Now you make me blush." You have been amazing for the community, and
Samuel rocks.
Samuel absolutely rocks.
Yeah.
So, well, as I told you, I don't really have a sacristan. I don't have an acolyte. So, before we chat, I first have to go clean up the church. Otherwise, I don't have any house. Am I back? Sorry about that. So the Wi-Fi is all over the place here in the church. So I'm putting I should remember to put my phone always on 4G. As I was saying before we broke connection, there was an article in the newspaper yesterday that said that there's a big musical crisis in parishes, but also in Protestant churches. They're singing the same songs that they've been singing for 40 years, and nobody really likes them.
Yeah.
And there is a universal claim or demand for new music, for more beautiful music. So I was thinking what we're doing here actually is
really
exactly
very modern.
it's very modern. It's what people need.
Yeah.
And I have to say that the psalm, for instance, the shepherd, you sing that along after just hearing it once,
Yeah.
and it's beautiful. The melody is very touching. So
Thank you. Yeah.
hopefully we can bring that to the masses because it's really beautiful what you make.
Well, that's really what I want to make. I want to make music that is really connecting, that is touching the heart, that is really right away doing something with the people and supporting the words. That's really my goal. How I want to do it. Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know what kind of music you're used to in your church, but let me know if there is a particular song that you liked, or just give us feedback on the music as well, because I think that we use that feedback also to improve and to create new stuff. And one of the things that is still on my wish list is to do more international songs, so from different language traditions maybe, and well, you've already done some stuff in other languages as well, so that's very cool. And we do a lot of Latin. We do that on purpose because Latin is a bit the Klingon of the Catholic Church, and these are universal melodies, it's a universal language, and we like to honor that because it's an international mass. So hopefully that is also something you enjoy.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much, Fritz.
You're welcome.
We'll talk soon.
Yes. Okay.
I'm gonna clean up the church now. Inge is already doing it, so.
I have 2 hands.
Yes, but I don't want to seem lazy, I'm just gonna turn on. These are the studio lights. We need extra lighting to get everything, because the church is not built for live streaming. See that? This is the second one. There we go. These are lights that I normally use for television production, but we keep them here for the time being. Now I have to go and I was going to say turn off the candles. I have to extinguish the candles, and there is a device. Oh, Inge has already found it. It is the extinguisher.
I know everything. I'm paying attention.
Very, very good. All right, let me turn off the light here. All right. So ideally, as I was saying, I'd like to have a conversation with all of you after Mass. We do that every week, and maybe even to tackle a topic, to talk about, I don't know, geeky things. Like normally you would go to a talk, for instance, or if you're familiar with Theology on Tap, something like that, where we can even in the long term invite guests to come and celebrate with us, and then do a talk afterwards. I think that can, especially since we're still early in the day for a lot of you, that may be something that, that can help. At least I would enjoy having more than just 10 minutes for a homily. Not that I do my homily in 10 minutes. But, this camera is all over the place. Let me stabilize it. How can I stabilize it? There you go. Now it's stabilized. So here I've got my Lego stuff, my TARDIS. But I'll clean that up tomorrow. I'd like to have more time to, I don't know, just share the thoughts. Okay, this camera is, of course, phone-based, so it's not always in focus. So it's still light outside, as you can tell. The church is so empty. This is where I imagine you sit when you're watching the stream. Anyway, I'm just going to ask if Inge, have you already eaten? Do you want to eat something, or are you on a strict meal program?
I'm on a strict meal program, but we'll see.
We'll see. Okay, do I order something, or?
You don't have to order especially for me.
Okay. We'll see. Well, we can at least have a dram, right?
Yes.
We're gonna have a. Well, that's what we'll do. We'll skip the pizza for now. We'll do that. We'll do that next week. We'll have a little bit more time and more people also to organize it with. But this is one of the traditions here. It's after Mass. We have a wee bit of dram. So we're gonna drink a glass of whiskey, and we do that usually with the acolytes and everything. But they're not here. But the whiskey is there. Shall we
Well, I have to
go now?
check the. I think that's.
I can do that. That's not a problem. I'll be here tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. All right, so how's everybody doing? All of a sudden you have all disappeared. Where are you? Or are you just, silently watching? Let me know where you're watching this from. So I would like to know where in the world. Oh, I just had to click the screen and now I can see the comments. Gratis Pafuldersdagen. Marianne, she probably looked it up. Or maybe she's Swedish as well, I don't know. So let me know where you're watching right now, so that I get a sense of the community. I'd like that. Okay. Oh, I have to turn off one more light. Sorry, I know that this is not very entertaining, but oh well. There is a hidden button. There you go. Lights out. I have to say, I truly appreciate the acolytes now that I know how much they do normally and how much I miss them right now. Okay. I have to turn off the colored lights as well. Let's do that. The keys? No, I'll do that later. Don't worry about it. It's kind of hard to clean up when you're streaming, but I have a remote control. We have these colored lights there in the background, but of course, I have to see if we can turn them off. It never works. How do I turn them off? Come on. Obey. Oh. Did I keep it upside down? No, I didn't. Wait. Oh, there we go. It's not the best remote control, I have to say. We're still saving money for better lights, especially so that we can remove the smaller studio lights. It doesn't look very good here in church. All right. Don't worry about it. I'll clean it all up later.
Getting half of my stuff.
You got everything? Turn off the lights here. Very good. I'm going to turn off the lights in the church. Okay. I'll be back. I live here. I sleep here almost. All right, it's good to see so many people found the stream. I'm very happy with that. Okay, we go to the apartment. All right, we have to turn off the lights here. Let's see. Very good. All right. Okay. If you've never been in my apartment, there's a geek that lives here. That is probably in reverse, but it's the map of Westeros. This is the entrance to my living room. And again, probably in reverse, but it says no admittance except on party business. All right, don't mind the mess. It's a huge mess here. Let's sit in the sunroom. Let me get a dram. Just gonna put this here on the table.
Flowers?
Yeah, flowers for the as a thank you for all the work that we've done. If you sit there, and people have something to.
1.5 meter, yeah.
Yeah, it will be fine. I'm gonna get
I
you.
can hide behind flowers.
You can hide behind the flowers. You have to speak up because otherwise people are probably.
I
not
have to
gonna-
yell and shout?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, whiskey. How are you comments right now?
Comments. Okay, I need to get my phone.
All right, so I've got two whiskeys. We've got the Kragen.
Hi, I'm Father Roderick. Welcome to my
My goodness, what a noise! I hear myself. This is Kragenmore, 12 years old, Speyside single malt Scotch whiskey. And then we've got, this is my favorite, Highland Park, Spirit of the Bear, single malt Scotch whiskey. I brought this back from Scotland, or actually I got this from my director. So I'm just going to put these right here. If you have any recommendations for whiskey, let me know.
Talisker. You need to get Talisker. Yeah, there's no decoration in the church because 40 years ago, one of the pastors decided that it needed to be all modern, so he painted everything white. So we're trying to restore that bit by bit. So that's a work in progress. So I'm reading your comments.
All right. I still have these nice whiskey glasses. I love these. These are
People notice that the church is barren.
Church is barren. Which one do you want? The
And
Highland?
Highland Park, of course.
Highland
Oh,
Park?
Kragenmore, there's a two. Oh.
Kragenmore? Both?
Well, first that.
Start with Kragenmore.
Yeah.
Yeah, the church has been destroyed in the 60s. We're slowly bringing it back to its former state, but it still takes many years, I think.
Yeah. Someone likes the tabernacle.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So yeah, we're getting the church back in shape. Mark asks if I'm a volunteer or a paid employee. I'm a paid employee from Trideo, but I'm a volunteer in the church because I'm also a parishioner here. So it depends on what day of the week it is. I don't work on Sundays, of course. So where people like Highland Park, I know how that one tastes because I've had one of that before, so I'm trying the other one. And I haven't eaten, so I need to be careful. So I'm trying to entertain you while he's running around. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Mariana raises her coffee cup in a chair, so yeah.
Coffee cup.
Some people are toasting with coffee.
Oh, with
Iced
coffee,
tea with
yes.
lemonade, nettle hot tea.
Nice. Well, this may be a little bit early for North American viewers.
And Lawrence wants to know how many church bells this church has. There are 3 big bells.
Yes.
One big bell for the solemnity when people die, then there's a slightly smaller one,
Yeah.
and a very small one where you for the angel. Who is that? The
Angelus?
Angelus. Yeah.
All right,
I
cheers.
love the church. Yeah, I like my shirt too. Yeah.
It says we can't toast. Oh, what was that? A bird. That's a bird.
That's a
Jumped into the window, so it sees its own reflection. Cheers.
Yeah, my shirt says in English, "Don't worry, I just suffer from hay fever, from pollen."
Yeah, because when you
It allows
cough,
me to sneeze in public.
right, you see everybody's panicking. Oh, Corona.
I don't have corona. I'm allergic to pollen.
I'll go to YouTube as well, see if I can find your
I can
your comments. Yeah, let me see. I have to see what I'm. It's always a bit
It was the
clunky.
Holy Spirit.
What?
That begged you to do
The Holy Spirit. Oh my goodness. I hope the real Holy Spirit has a little bit more. Oh, here it is. I can see it. Has more. How'd you say that? It's better at navigating. How can I turn off? Oh, of course. Turn off the audio. Ah, this works a lot better. So, who do we have? Stephanie's there, Nate Dobbs, Adam, it was the Holy Spirit, yes.
How that?
That's how they breakfasted in Shakespeare's day, did they now?
With whiskey.
With whiskey.
I would be hungover all for the rest of the day if I did.
Oh man.
Adam prefers Pepsi Max Cherry.
Okay. Well, there is still, you've got a lot to learn, little one. Are you excited for Star Trek Strange New Worlds? Yes! Oh boy. And you too, I think.
Yeah, I'm a
Awesome.
Trekkie.
You are now completely caught up with all the Star Trek series?
Yes, I
Discovery?
have been for years, but since...
Well, you didn't have Picard for a while.
Well, yeah, but we watched that. I watched that with Hank. Hank is a friend of mine. So.
One of our acolytes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's probably for 2021, I suppose, because it's brand new. But I like that they go to episodic stuff.
Yes, because I've been rewatching The Next Generation because of...
Yeah.
I knew when I was in high school, I watched that with my mom, but sometimes my father wanted to see sports, so he couldn't see Star Trek. So there are episodes that I never seen. So I watched everything in order again, and just had a glorious time with it. But I like that it is episodic, so even if you miss one or more episodes, then you can just still watch it. But if you when it's, for example, Deep Space Nine, it gets much harder to miss out on.
And I think it will make for different writing. I think it's sometimes it's good to be just limited in the time you have to tell a story. Sometimes the stories do get better. If you can just like Lost, when Lost was on TV, sometimes these seasons would just drag on and on because they had to fill all these episodes and nothing happened. Whereas in one episode you can really make sure that the story has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and a good story arc.
I always watched a couple of days before watching Lost because I would read on the internet if it was worth it. And if there was nothing happening, I was just skip the episode.
I watched everything. I just wanted to be on that island. Still want to be.
Come to my island.
Aruba. Oh, I forgot that I didn't post my podcast, but I did a review of Space Force.
Yeah.
I have to put it online, and there is a scene in the first episode of Space Force where Steve Carell's character, General Nerd, is singing that song to calm himself. He's super stressed out, and then he's like standing there in his room alone, and he's Aruba, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do we have? This is a nice setting. I see a new talk show coming, says Marco. Okay, well, I'm glad you like the sunroom. This is very simple. It's just, flowers and sunshine and IKEA. And Inge, yes, I will. We get the message.
I'm the sunshine in the room.
We'll put you in a corner in every show. Minxie says, I wish I could watch Picard, but I didn't have a credit card, and there is no ideal option in the NL.
It's still stupid because everyone in the Netherlands uses Ideal, and not everyone has credit cards.
It is Amazon. Amazon is very credit card based. They'll come around. They want to make money. DS9 was very episodic and very, very good. Well, in the first few seasons, yes, but then later on, the mythology became much more important. I haven't finished it yet, so no spoilers.
I haven't finished it either. That's my next project.
Ah.
Well, I've finished it, but I've also missed episodes.
Yeah. Jenny says, I agree with Marco. It feels like I'm sitting with everyone. That's exactly what we were trying to aim for. That you would feel as if you are just here. You want to move those flowers? Okay. So what I was saying, we wanted you to.
It wasn't in the center of the image, so I kind of.
Oh, you're. But sometimes something just off center is better. But this is what we do every morning on Sundays with our parishioners, and it's been wildly popular. We just drink a cup of coffee. Normally, the priests always have to move on to the next mass because we have several masses because we have so many churches. So parishioners rarely have the occasion to talk to us or ask questions. And so we started to do that because we were just streaming and there was no mass after that. So we could just spend some time online and chat with the audience. And it was so popular. People were like, oh my gosh, why don't you guys do this every Sunday? And then I was thinking, well, maybe this would work also for the evening mass. And that's one of the reasons that we brought it to 5 o'clock. I know it's a big risk to change the time, but I figured, it has a few advantages. First advantage is for us. We still have an evening, whereas in the past 10 weeks, well...
What evening? What's that?
Yeah, we would be here, and then especially afterwards, we would still, drink whiskey and talk, and then it would be 11 o'clock, and then Monday morning it's work day, so it was just, there was no weekend left. So this is one of the things that we hope that now by bringing it to 5 o'clock, we have a little bit more time. But also because so we could take more time to just chat with the audience, and maybe over time, one of my ideals is to, well, the thing that I want to do next week already is to bring in pizza, because that's always good, right? I miss pizza. I haven't eaten pizza for many months now, and now I can't use the oven anymore. I've been
You
restricted.
out?
Yes,
Oh.
there's a parish oven. I don't have an oven here in my own kitchen.
You didn't clean it afterwards and she found out.
Yeah, probably. I dared to use the oven and put a pizza in without cleaning it afterwards, and now I'm prohibited
I'm
to
banished.
use the
You
oven.
can buy it to me, but by the time we get back,
Yeah,
it's
no. We need pizza right here, right after Mass. And then I thought, well, what is more fun than to have a geeky conversation after Mass with pizza? Who wouldn't want that? And then we can always isolate it because it's a different stream. We can put that up as a kind of an informal talk show.
Yeah.
So maybe if you're watching this after the fact, tune in next week live, and then we'll just talk about stuff.
Someone wants to know if I'm your sister.
No. Inge is my.
Stop saying because of that.
Good Lord. No, I have a sister and brother. My brother is called Jeroen, or Jerome in English, and my sister is called Fiona. Beautiful Celtic name. She lives in Utrecht and has a family. Inge has been a long time contributor to the mission, to the work that we do. She works also for Trideo, which is the platform that brings you all this and the podcast and everything. And
I'm a parishioner.
you're a parishioner?
It's my church also.
Yes, and if it weren't for these social media things, you probably wouldn't even be Catholic, because it's a long time ago.
It's fault.
Yeah, I think it was because you heard that there was this priest talking about Battlestar
But I think
Galactica.
I heard one more, you
Yeah.
mentioned this one, and nobody watched it.
No.
And so I had some, let's say, alternative means to watch the way back one, to watch it, but there was no one I could talk to
Yeah.
about it. And a friend of mine said, well, I've got a very cool priest. I was like, how in which world are priests cool?
Cool and priest doesn't.
Yeah,
That doesn't.
not in the same
doesn't
sense.
make sense.
You know?
Doesn't
So,
compute.
but he was bugging me to listen to his podcast. So I was like, okay, I will listen to a couple of podcasts. So stop about it. And then, well, the rest is history, they say. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why, and Inge now lives in the area for about a year now, a little bit longer than a year.
Almost 2 years.
2 years?
1.5
Oh
years.
my goodness,
Yeah.
it's incredible. Otherwise, she used to live all the way up in the north of the country in Groningen. But since a lot of the work that we do is kind of digital, that wasn't really a problem, although it's much more fun to actually be able to work together on location. Very soon this actually will become one of our office rooms. So we used to have our offices in another part of the parish, but they're going to close that church, so we're going to lose that space. And then this rectory is huge. It's really big. I think in one of my previous streams I gave you guys a tour. So there is enough room for me and some space here downstairs for our offices. So, well, maybe we'll just turn this into a talk show set. Why not? Got some more questions. Marty says, we love your sunroom. Well, good, I love it too.
Salzburg wants to know if the Borg came to Maas, what would they say?
What would they say, or what would I say?
say?
What would I say?
Who would say what?
Well, we know what the Borg say.
Yeah.
I would say just convert, resistance is futile. Which is true, I think.
I know from first hand.
Tony and Cecilia, I'm not sure if it's Tony or Cecilia, typing. I first got to know Inge on the Secrets of Once Upon a Time podcast.
That's ages.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, I had to record that and then afterwards spend a whole day editing it.
But were you also on the show? Yeah,
I
you were
was
on the
also
show.
on the show,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Did you ever finish watching the entire series?
No, I just at one point Emma went dark side and then I thought that I disconnected. I thought they jumped the shark out at season 6 or something like that. And it's on Netflix, so I see it. It's on my list, but so is Doctor Who, and Doctor Who's a little bit cooler than Once Upon a Time. So
Okay. I still want to finish it. I heard it was actually quite good at the end. But yeah, I kind of stopped watching it at the same time. I was getting tired also of some of the regulars like Captain Hook, and there were just too many people that just too many episodes that were just a rehash. A little bit like Lost. It kind of lost its energy.
Yes, and Artemis wants to know if you will be continuing the Geek Masters when the churches are fully opened again.
I do want to continue the Geek Masters because I think that this is reaching not just parishioners that can't go to Mass, but it's also reaching people that may have already gone to Mass in their own parish or will go later on. But it's also reaching a lot of people that will never go to Mass or don't have a parish where they live. But I want to expand it a little bit. I want to make it, it's Mass followed by Geek Talk, maybe a little, homely talk show or something like that. I think that is. And then ultimately, when this church opens again, we can also invite people to be here live, and we can do, a talk show with an audience. I'd love that.
We can have a party together, after party.
Yes.
Geek Master after party.
Hence the pizza.
We are just drawing people into pizza, and then it becomes Catholic.
Pizza is next to the Holy Spirit the second key you need for the TARDIS. I remember mentioning to Chef Fabio Viviani that I was introduced to his fettuccine arrabbiata by Father Roderick, and he gave me a 1,000-mile stare. What? What? What is this? Fettuccine arrabbiata?
Probably something you've tried in the food segment on this podcast, maybe?
I did have a lot of food. Well, I talked a lot about food segments. Even did some cooking on YouTube. That was way before I understood what my own place in the world of YouTube was, but oh my gosh, that is cool.
Yeah.
The Borg line is true, Carol says. I left the Catholic Church twice, and yet now my Catholic faith is the focus of my life. 30 years ago, came back again. Oh my goodness. Resistance is futile.
Yeah.
I had nothing to do with it this time.
Maybe there's always something, so maybe like 6 degrees of separation.
Yes. Well, I think ultimately it's because God wants to pull people back, and He doesn't stop. Even if we walk away, He never walks away from us. So He always will find another way to bring us back, I think. On one of our first dates, Darwin and I challenged each other with Star Wars knowledge. It's truly nice to share one's geekdom. Wow. Lawrence proposes a talk show with your bishop.
I don't think people will watch that.
I'm not sure if he himself would watch it. Probably not. He's not the kind of he's not.
He doesn't really like cameras. And
No,
He doesn't like
no,
being
no.
on TV.
He doesn't want to be in the center of attention. So.
No, he's very.
Although he does have a nerdy, geeky side. He's very good with computers. He just never shows it, but
Yeah.
he does. I think he's very, how do you say that, at ease on the internet.
Yeah.
It's just that
But just don't put him in the focus of the attention.
Yeah.
Which is good if you, normally if you're a bishop, but if in these times sometimes handy to show.
communication is important.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So this, let me see. Chef Fabio couldn't imagine that a priest was a podcast.
Yeah. Drink the club.
Pizza must be Father's favorite food. Well, no, actually not at all. I enjoy pizza, especially if I don't have to make it myself. But it's more comfort food. It's not the food that I enjoy the most. I actually like to cook, and I enjoy a meal that I prepared myself. But pizza, I always associate pizza with geekdom. It's something that I ate in seminary during the weekend when we didn't have time or we didn't want to eat the seminary food, and we would just get pizza.
Yeah.
So I always associate it with time off, with happy times. So for me, pizza is happy food. For you, it's not always happy, right?
Well, food is always happy, but you need to eat it in moderation.
Yes. But you have had some nasty pizza experiences, also due to me. Remember that time in Rome when we were filming this guy who was making vegetarian pizza? I think that could have been the clue. So we were in Rome. We were filming TV episodes.
Oh yeah.
Every once in a while.
I was like, which safari did you mean with?
Yeah, Inge was sick as a dog.
Yeah.
She had a cold or whatever.
Yeah, I'm always having a cold.
She was just not feeling good at all. And I needed someone to help because I actually went to Rome without any idea. I didn't have the.
We just took a plane and we went to Rome.
Yeah,
to figure it out.
we'll figure it out. And so I needed her help to just kind of, help me think mostly. How are we going to film 4 episodes in 4 days?
Add a sinus infection, which is very
Yes.
nice if you have to catch a plane. You have
Oh.
a sinus infection.
It was totally crazy that week. And it was also your first time in Rome, so
Yeah.
it was such a shame that.
So people ask me sometimes,
How was
was
Rome?
Rome? I was like, I only saw Father Roderick back. I don't know.
So one day we go and we film this guy. So I in order to be able to film a TV show, and without going really in depth and doing much research, I kind of split up the episode in various segments. So I would have like a history segment, a walk, an interview, and then I would always have a cooking segment because I thought Rome. If you're in Rome, you want to eat food, right? You want to eat Italian food. So I went, asked cooks to cook something for me, and I would film the cooking process. And normally these cooks don't have much to say, but it's just a little something to kind of lighten up the show. So we went to this one guy who was recommended to us by a producer in Rome, a Catholic lady.
Best pizza in Rome.
Dutch lady who lives in Rome, and said, you have to go to that guy and call him up. We come there, the restaurant is empty.
Yeah.
Completely, this was pre-corona, but it could have been corona time, so there was nobody there. The guy himself didn't know how to speak. He was very shy, he was very, we say in Dutch, we have a word for that, stug. The word itself sounds like Klingon, but it means kind of very distant, difficult, not an
Aloof
easy
is the
talker.
English word.
Who?
Aloof.
Aloof?
Yeah.
Aloof.
Yeah.
I prefer stug.
Aloof.
Stug. It was just, didn't want to speak. So I had to really, every question I had to kind of
You have to
tear out
work hard. Yeah.
really working hard.
Yeah.
And then I thought, he was going to cook for us. No, it was this guy from Syria, or what was
Some
it?
Middle Eastern.
Egypt, he was from Egypt.
Egypt, yeah.
There was this guy in the kitchen who was like, okay, I'm gonna go make you pizza. And I couldn't interview him because he barely spoke Italian. And it was the typical guy that you don't trust in the kitchen. Remember how he looked?
Yeah.
Like his
everything was dirty.
everything is dirty. He used to, his clothes should be white, but it was all patchy, and it was like, oh my gosh, is that blood? it was, and then the entire kitchen was also a mess, and I tried what I could to not film all the dirt. I mean, there were no rats, but I'm pretty sure dirt at night.
Close to rats, yeah.
It was pretty terrible. There is this French movie by the comedian Louis de Funès, and he made one of the favorite comedians of my father. So we watched all his movies. And there's this one movie called Le Grand Vadrouille, and it tells the story of a food expert, so one Michelin ratings guy, who visits restaurants, and some of these restaurants know that he's actually the one who's going to judge their restaurant, so they do whatever they can to make good food. But there's also this restaurant where he goes and everything is wrong. It's the most horrible restaurant, and he's just going from disaster to disaster when he visits the premises. And then so at one point you see this guy, and he actually looks like the guy in that Italian restaurant, and he's smoking a cigarette while he is making pizza dough.
Yeah,
And so-
maybe that was it.
And he's rolling out the pizza dough, and then he drops the cigarette from his mouth, and then he continues to just put it in the pizza dough. And I saw these guys like, oh my gosh, this is just like that movie. And then you got the pizza.
Yeah, so the worst part was that I was sitting there because I'm obviously, when I'm a producer or an
Mhm.
assistant, I'm not there. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but they made a pizza for me and I could not say no. And at that time I was gluten intolerant also.
Uh-huh.
So it's
Yeah.
pizza. People are trying to be nice to you. You're like,
Yes. So you felt obliged to
I
eat
felt
it.
obliged to eat pizza, knowing it would cause a horrible tummy pain
Yeah.
afterwards, which happened. Yeah.
Even without the gluten intolerance, that pizza could make you sick.
Yeah.
It was not good at all. And of course, it's television. The show must go on, so I had to pretend that it's so yummy. And I was like, oh. I think we went to McDonald's afterwards.
Yeah, we went to McDonald's. Yeah.
Oh,
They have great stuff at the Italian McDonald's. They have little buns that are filled with Nutella.
Yes,
So-
they have. Yeah.
Yeah, so that it's gluten. So they have like it's like a Big Mac,
Uh-huh.
bread, but instead of the Big Mac, there's Nutella.
Yeah.
Which is good if you want to be veggie, I think.
Hey, Nutella hamburger. Yeah, I don't know if the Italians would approve. Probably
But
not.
I tried one just because I could. It was not good.
Not everything you can do is something you should do.
But I can officially say it's not good. It's just yeah.
Minxie says, I remember a podcast from the walk. Father Roderick walked into a lantern post. You also heard the boing sound, made me laugh out loud in a full train. Could be 8 years ago. I think I remember that. It's a repressed memory, but yes. Stuff like that happens from time to time.
Yeah.
I also destroyed a computer while I was podcasting
Yes.
in someone else's
Yes.
room, with Greg Willits.
Yeah.
I knocked over a glass of
Baptized
water
your
on a MacBook Pro, like a 17-inch MacBook Pro. I knocked
A
over a
new
glass
one.
of water, a new one.
A new one. And he left it on, and he left the
recording yes.
running and went downstairs to notify Greg that his brand new MacBook Pro had been spilled water on, and then you hear Greg coming back. Did you turn it off? No, and he had a complete meltdown live.
Okay then. Yep.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Do you know Gordon Ramsay? Yes. Yeah, of course. The one where most of his words are bleeped out on American television. Yeah, he used to be great. Nowadays, he's so much of a TV star that it feels a little bit fake. What is that?
It's Chris.
Okay, Chris is in the, what is it? Is it WhatsApp or?
Yeah, in Signal.
On Signal, and she links audio sounds to specific people that try to message her.
So I know
So-
who it is, but with perfect sense.
Yeah, but then she has this awesome Utini thing, and so you're in the middle of a conversation, you're talking, let's say, about Trinitarian theology, etc., and all of a sudden, what do you mean? What the heck is
I
happening?
can't help it. So,
Well, you've got geeks and you've got uber geeks.
so,
So anyway, Samuel also has Signal. Yeah, it's good. Have you tried taco pizza or spaghetti pizza? Okay, that's the end of the show. Thank you. Please do not come back. What? Spaghetti pizza? Come on! What is that?
you're asking this a guy who lived in Rome for 2 years, so you're playing with danger, with fire right now.
I mean,
Yeah.
taco pizza. There is tacos and there's pizza. God made them different. It's like Adam and Eve. And Eve is not Adam and Adam is not Eve. You've got tacos, you've got pizza. They're not meant to be the same thing. What the heck is spaghetti pizza? I know the spaghetti monster. That
This
is
is
just,
spaghetti church also.
yeah, spaghetti church. It's
Yeah.
heresy. It's heresy. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. What's the sound for Father Roderick? Can I try it out? I should call you probably, right?
Yeah, you should call me. You can call
Oh, I
me.
can't. My phone is what I'm using to stream.
maybe I can
Okay.
try it. Let me see.
I have an inkling of what it's going to be.
You know it is because you tried it. Back when we were sitting.
It's pizza with spaghetti pasta on top of it, and above that spaghetti sauce. That is really, really making baby Jesus cry. You know that? Please do not eat that. Do not suggest it. Do not speak about it anymore. That's my ringtone. Okay, stop it. I'm gonna get a copyright flag. Thank you. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Anywho, what is the name of your church? What is the name of your church so I can go to it one day? It's called St. Joseph's Church in Hooglanderveen.
Try that to say that 10 times fast.
Near Amersfoort in the Netherlands. But just give me a call if you want to come by. Let me know and we'll have pizza or coffee or a drink. Is the Cantina song Well, thank you so much for taking me seriously.
That was it before I changed into this one. I had indeed a cantina.
Archmiss Rose continues the outrage. Do you agree with pineapple on pizza?
No!
I assume that's a rhetorical question, right? Pineapple on pizza. Pineapple is meant to be eaten on a beach with a pina colada. It's not meant to be on anywhere near any pizza anywhere in the world, especially not in Italy or in Holland for that matter. Were you the chef in your seminary? No, unfortunately not.
It's good for the seminary that he wasn't.
I had someone else cooking. That was his sister was cooking for us, and she cooked the real traditional Dutch food. So I'm not a fan of Dutch food. Anyway, I've since then I've been able to compensate.
You want to know what the text on my shirt means, so don't panic. I don't have corona. I'm just allergic to.
I just have a hay fever.
Just have hay
That's
fever.
what it says. Of course, we don't know for sure if she has COVID-19. She still wears a stupid shirt, so.
Yeah, I'm just hiding.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on sardines on pizza? That actually sounds like something that Italians would try out. You know, fish on pizza. Yeah.
It's like anchovies.
But sardines, I would say tuna.
That's something the people in the United States don't know. Tuna pizza.
I like it.
Yeah,
You got tuna sandwiches.
It's just great on Fridays. Tuna pizza.
I like it a
pizza,
lot.
You don't have,
Tuna pizza.
Yeah.
I love it. It's just pizza margherita. You add some tuna. You add some cheese, of course. And then I also add olives and what's it,
capers.
Capers. I love the combination of capers and tuna. Try it out. It's great. Ham and pineapple is very good.
Ham and pineapple are very good. But
Separately,
not pizza.
yes. I would say Nutella and Kentucky Fried Chicken is very good, but not together. It's not meant to be together. It's like Darth Vader and Jean-Luc Picard on the bridge of the Battlestar Galactica. Don't. In college we had broccoli pizza and it was terrible. Yes, of course it was. Pizza Nutella. Oh.
But not, Lauren says, I was on holiday and I was in a pizzeria. You could eat pizza with banana and Nutella. I like it on pancakes, but not on pizza.
Don't ever say that in Italy because they will send the mafia to hunt down the people that did that.
You know what's good? Puffertjes, also.
Pizza salad. Pizza salad?
That's Swedish.
I think he's just trolling us. Samuel,
That's
don't
Swedish.
troll us. What pizza salad? No,
I
Swedish.
think they cut a pizza in pieces and put it in a salad, something like that.
I don't want to know. Please don't explain the recipe. I just don't.
Yeah.
It's not God's will.
That would be a mortal cold.
Okay, now we're talking about food for like 10 minutes.
I'm getting hungry.
Bean and chili pizza. We have that in Mexico. Okay, I will respect that. I will respect that. I totally,
If
you
you
know,
give it to
if
Mexico-
that is Mexican, absolutely, God bless you. But please, make sure that it stays your local tradition. Don't feel the need to share it with the rest of the world. Just keep it Mexican so that people have to go on pilgrimage to Mexico to eat beans on pizza. By all means, just keep it in Mexico. I think, otherwise I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, someone wants to know what is your favorite pizza crust?
Just pizza crust.
Now mine is with garlic sauces. So if you go to New York Pizza, then you can.
I mean, New York pizza, please do not continue. That is not a place where you should eat pizza.
That's they have mixed grill barbecue pizza.
That is not a pizza.
Yes, it is.
That is mixed grill and
It's awesome.
and an outrage.
It's awesome.
Et tu, Brutus. Why do I feel like Jesus at the Last Supper, thinking he has friends, and then Judas, he moves towards Jesus and he says, Master, what was it? Mixed grill pizza. Do what you have to do. Oh God.
So someone knows what would be a typical Dutch pizza. That would be pancake. Dutch pancake.
We don't have pizza. Well, I think people, the Dutch
It's
like
the
their
ingredients.
they like their cheese, right?
Yeah.
They usually do the quattro formaggio. That's very popular. And salami, not that much, right? It's only recently
Yeah, I'm
salami.
in German, I would do bratwurst on pizza.
That is why she's not family. She's not even. It's just not. This is just a colleague. You know, it's a work. It's a business relation, right? Right.
Yeah, thank God for that.
Bratwurst on pizza. Oh my goodness. Shrimp on pizza. Okay. Maybe we should change the topic of conversation.
You're picking with food, Samuel says. Good thing you don't have a wife. I think that's a good thing as well.
All right.
Yeah. Shrimp on pizza is good.
Maybe.
Trevor says.
Maybe.
Okay.
I'd rather put shrimp in rice.
Artemis says, here in America people will put anything on pizza and many of the toppings are questionable.
I know.
Yeah.
America is questionable. Let's face it.
Well, I had Gulf shrimp. You know when we were in, where was it? Dallas?
Yeah.
There was this place that they have had all kinds of steak, a steak restaurant,
Uh-huh.
and they had Gulf shrimp in coconuts. That was very good.
Okay.
The steak is very good.
Yeah.
And a place in San Antonio where they had live guacamole on the.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, they prepared the guacamole at your table, and that was awesome. Yeah, we had some good food there.
Yeah.
Actually, there's never been a time that I went to the U.S. that I didn't get good food. The restaurants are awesome.
Mhm.
It's just it's a very everything is Americanized. So even if you get Mexican, it's Tex-Mex.
Yeah.
If you get Italian food,
Or
it is.
The Japanese restaurant Don took us to.
Yeah, that was actually local. I think that was good with the soup or what.
Yeah,
was
but
it?
with the sushi and that kind of stuff. And
I don't
then they had a
know.
chef preparing.
Wasn't it Thai? We went to a Thai
No, there was.
restaurant with the soup, the
Yeah,
wonton soup.
but we also went to a Japanese place and you had to sit in a circle and there was someone in the middle preparing.
Oh yeah, just the regular, they prepared way, yes. Yeah. Let's see, what else have we
So
got?
when I'm in the United
America is questionable. What do you say? I'm half American. Half Irish, half Swedish. Wait a minute, you're half American, half Irish, and half Swedish.
States, it's just 1.5 person.
Okay then. Well, no, I know. I feel like I could be an American.
You're
It's just that-
all lived in America.
Yes, actually, I have American family, so
Yeah.
I'm half American. I don't know. My grandmother, she lived and died in San Francisco, so. Am I going to be doing a review on Lego Star Wars: The Complete Trilogy when it comes out? Yes. Oh yes, by all means, yes. Have you begun to play Red Dead Redemption 2? Yes. Yes, I played it. It's awesome. It's really awesome. I want to stream it. It's just that the days still have 24 hours and it's not enough.
Is it true that all Dutch food is fried?
No, Dutch food is not supposed to be fried.
Not everything.
Well,
Porridge
most
is not fried, they are just baked.
Yeah.
So.
What's your favorite thing to eat when you were in America? I like the simple things. I remember the first time that I ate, and you're gonna be shocked, that I ate at Taco Bell. And I had never had Mexican food or Tex-Mex. I did not know what it was. And I remember this was years ago. I was a young priest, 24 years old. And I had never heard of Taco Bell. So I went there and I got a burrito and I was like, oh, why don't we have that in the Netherlands?
I can relate to that.
I loved it.
So, when was that? In 2013, we had also CLMC in the United States. I was helping out there.
Yeah.
So I took a plane to Atlanta. So I would fly with Captain Jeff to Dallas later
Mhm.
on. But he had to work or so, there was something, but Maria Johnson picked me up from the airport
Okay.
in Atlanta. So I was like half dead because I had been in a plane for 10 hours. So and it was just 20 centigrade, so like 68 Fahrenheit in the Netherlands. And I landed in Atlanta, it was like 38 or like 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So I just was knocked down by the heat and I was hungry. So she took me to Taco Bell.
Ah.
So yeah, so for a long time I thought that was how Mexican food tasted. Sorry
Yes.
to everybody living in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been a fan of Tex-Mex for some reason. It's a little bit too much. I even when I went to Dallas, I stayed with friends, and they went to Tex-Mex for morning for breakfast. Mexican food for breakfast, like a breakfast burrito.
Yeah.
Like no, I'm not made for that. That is not my thing. What I like is Taco Bell. I really enjoy Five Guys.
Yes, there's one in Utrecht.
Yes, it's now in the Netherlands, and it is my place of pilgrimage. I hardly ever go there because it's expensive, and it's well.
We went there a lot when we were in Boston.
Yes, because there was one
around the corner of the hotel.
right around the corner of the hotel. We often would work way too late, and then so the only restaurant open would be Five Guys. But it is something about it's so American,
Yeah.
and I like that you can order
And
anything basically, and they make it.
Yeah.
It's all fresh. Yeah, it was good.
And there's also something I really like from the United States is Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah,
And that's-
you have a
that's-
sweet tooth. Yeah.
Well, I don't really necessarily have a sweet tooth, but it's like one of the first times I was in Atlanta, Captain Jeff took me to Krispy Kreme donuts because I never had tasted donuts before.
Yeah.
So he got a box and we went to the airport and we had to catch a plane to I think San Antonio. It must be San Antonio. And and he was telling me that was the best donut there was in the United States. I had officially eaten the best donuts in the United States. So then we went to Boston, and the Boston people found out about Krispy Kreme and about Captain Jeff had said.
Uh-huh.
So they took me to Dunkin' Donuts.
Ah, okay.
So, but
I know a donut every year, once every year. Okay, but I remember that during one of our meetings in Boston, they brought us a whole box with donuts, and it was just after half a donut, I'm full,
yeah.
and I'm just it's
it's
so
also
sweet.
it's also like at 9 p.m. Let's go get donuts, and then
Yeah.
stores are open. And
Remember that we went to get donuts when we were staying with Zena?
yeah, that was the box.
Was that the same box?
That was the same box.
Jeez. It was just too much.
Yeah.
Let's see. Have we ever did we ever eat Filipino food? I must have eaten it. I just don't remember it. I don't think there are many Filipino restaurants here.
No.
It must be compatible because I've got a kind of an Asian taste. I like any Asian food most of the
You
time.
must ask Lynn about that.
Yeah, definitely. Alejandro is calling you from Toronto. They enjoyed today's mass. Well, thank you so much. That's awesome. I want to go back to Toronto. I miss Canada so much. You've never been to Canada, right?
No, not yet.
Oh, such
It's on my list. But the
Great
borders are
country.
closed. Borders are closed. I can't go.
just temporary. But I want to go to Canada. I went to Toronto, Winnipeg. What else have we got in that corner above Toronto? What's that?
Montreal.
I think I went to Montreal. I'm not even sure I went there. Anyway, time to go back. The Canadians are so nice. They're awesome.
Yeah,
people.
apologizing for everything.
And they end every sentence
But
as if they're asking a question.
My question, eh?
They are like asking, they're talking a story, eh? It's so funny. That's a little bit like Australians do that too. You know? Australians, every sentence
Yeah, but they
ends on
dude.
a.
They said dude all the time. Dude.
I don't know what they say. I'm not going to try to imitate because they are
people
usually
get
very
mad at us.
offended when I try to do that.
I
We'd love
love to Sweden.
We'd love to see the father try out Star Wars: The Old Republic. It's free to play and it's a lot of story. You can
Yeah,
play at your
we've
own
done
pace.
that.
I played it for
We've
years.
done that together.
Yes, I was always in need of help.
Normally it goes like this. A father introduces me to a game and then I've been playing and then I find out that the only reason you introduced me to the game is because you're stuck and you need
I need help. There you go.
Jenny says, I walked back into the room. You guys are talking about American food. Have you tried traditional American Southern, like crawfish and fried chicken? Yes, I have.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of the Southern cuisine,
Yeah.
especially Southern breakfast. Did you ever get? You never went to Atlanta, right? Did you stay with the Willits once?
But no, not with the village, but
Jeff.
with Jeff and with Maria Johnson. And
Did they ever made you eat grits for breakfast?
well,
Grits?
they proposed grits, and I saw what it was. I was like, no, thank you very much. But I like biscuit with gravy.
I love
Biscuits with gravy.
I love Atlanta breakfast, you know,
Yeah.
grits,
But
sausages, eggs, it's just,
I remember when we were at a hotel in, where was it? I think also San Antonio, where they had grits because it was the south.
yeah.
And you went there, you wanted to heat it in the microwave, and then it bang. And
No, that was just oatmeal.
Oh, it was just
The oatmeal exploded, it was just the prefab oatmeal, yes. God. No, but grits are awesome, it's just griesmeal, it's a big, we had it too here.
Yeah,
Boekweit, or I don't know.
I don't know what it is, it's gross.
No, it's good.
It's not just gross.
Are you a Knight of Columbus? No, I'm not. I think Sebastian is actually.
This Sebastian,
Sebastian's
our
a
lecturer.
Knight- our lecturer, who's not here today. Thank you so much, Sebastian. I forgot to tell him that we moved from 7 to 5. So.
He's now remotely jealous because we are drinking.
He'll probably be back next week.
Yeah.
But yes, he's a Knight of Columbus. He was very frustrated that they changed the uniforms.
I heard of
They
that.
used to have all the feathers and
Yeah.
stuff.
Did
And
he do lecture readings with his costume? So one day.
maybe it did. Yeah, he likes
And
costumes.
And I saw the name, he likes uniforms.
Yes. Well, he's not the only one, but biscuits and gravy. And the elevator in our local sci-fi shop looks like the TARDIS. Oh, cool. I wish we had sci-fi shops here. Anywho,
Yeah.
so I'm sorry that I'm not looking at the camera, but I'm looking at the
And the comments.
comments,
Yeah.
because I'm so far behind. Hey, I think we need to start wrapping things up, because I'm getting hungry. And I'm not going to cook while streaming. It's always Dunder Mifflin in The Walking Dead.
Santa Cucina, new episode.
Oh, it's always Dunder Mifflin in The Walking Dead, screen name, wants to know, is that the famous Inge?
I'm not famous.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Inge Lutz!
Yeah, it's always so frustrating when you're flying on one of Captain Jeff's passes.
Last call for Miss Lutz.
So Americans cannot pronounce my first name. They also cannot pronounce my first name, and then you're waiting at
Inge.
a gate.
They say Inge.
Inga,
Inga.
Inge. But
They think she's from Norway or something like that. Inga!
well, they think online people think I'm a dude because apparently Inge is a male name.
What?
And Inga is a female version. So I have a male name.
Okay.
So
It's a very common name in the Netherlands.
Sweden, I don't know if it's true, but in Sweden, if you're INGE with an E, then you're a male, and if Inga, so with an A, then you're female. So my parents didn't know the rules apparently when they named me because I've got a guy's name.
But Inge in Dutch is very, very common for girls.
Yes.
It's Ingeborg. So, you know, I know tons of people that are called Inge.
Well, it was a popular name when I was born, so I was like with 5 people in my class at primary school called Inge. So we were called by our last name because that was too much people with the same first name.
It's so terrible that you don't have a say in what your name is.
I definitely would not be. So my grandmother, I was supposed to be named after, was called Hermione.
Oh wow, that is so
That's
awesome!
so weird.
That would have been the most awesome because you are totally a Hermione. She always knows better than everyone else. I
Yeah.
always feel like
So
Ron when I'm in
I'm
her
seriously,
presence.
considering to add her name to my name.
Why don't you do it? You can
Because
change
it
your
costs
name.
like $1,000.
What is $1,000?
A lot of
For a
money.
cool name.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kit and Kat, for the super chat. That is so generous. Thank you for all the geek masses. That is so great. Oh, well, it's our pleasure. It's totally our pleasure to share that with you. But yeah, Paul is watching from Malta. How is the situation on Malta? It's one of the countries that the Pope wanted to visit, and then the coronavirus struck, and he postponed his trip. Now it's so sad because I know that Malta is very Catholic. It's still on my to-go list. So I really felt for the people
Yeah,
in
Samuel
Malta.
prefers English as man's name.
Okay, well,
That
in
explains
Holland
a lot.
it's not. It's definitely a girl's name. But I'm going to call you Hermione from now on.
Yeah.
Leviosa. Not Leviosa.
Leviosa.
Leviosa. Totally Hermione. Anywho,
I wear it with pride.
Paul was very sad that the papal visit didn't go through. Oh, Lynn is there in chat.
Hey, Lynn.
I didn't know you were there.
She
Well,
was just lurking.
good to see you. Lynn says, then again, in American English, the NG consonant comes usually at the end of words, so Americans can't pronounce Filipino words in which
Oh,
NG consonant.
But they can say singing. So why
Yeah.
can't they say Inge? Because
Singing
they
is
say-
just Inge without an S and an N. Yeah. Oh well. Yes, she's lurking. Ah. Okay, well we need to do some Filipino cooking.
With Father Leo. When he's in Rome, we need to go to Rome. We can-
Father Leo sometimes messages, like a couple of weeks ago or months, he wanted me to find him a restaurant in Amsterdam because he was coming
Because
over.
there's only one restaurant.
Well, he wanted to record his cooking show in Amsterdam, and he thought, well, Father Roderick is Dutch, so he knows everyone in Amsterdam. Nope, doesn't work like that.
There's like
No.
1 million people living in the Amsterdam area. Father knows all of them.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. I know every single person in Amsterdam. So, but then Corona struck, and I never heard from him again. But
Yeah.
yeah, he still does his cooking show, but I think he's on EWTN or something like that.
I don't know.
Kind of lost contact.
Yeah.
We're getting old. We're all getting so old. You know Father Leo? Yes. Oh gosh, we were at the cradle of his career.
Yes, we were. I know.
We made him what he is today. No, we're just kidding.
No,
It was already
this
awesome.
This is the whiskey speaking. This is the whiskey speaking.
No, it's not. I'm sober.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But yes, Father Leo is a great guy. The situation is coming back to normal on Malta. A number have recovered more than those who are found with the virus. Same here. But it's all we don't know if there's going to be a second wave or anything.
And I'm very afraid because there's so in Germany, they are like 2 weeks ahead of us. So they started relaxing the measures, the restrictions earlier than we did. And then now in Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, which is in the north, so you have eastern Germany and then the north coast.
What's that called?
Mecklenburg-Vorpommern.
Mecklenburg-Vorpommern.
German Mecklenburg.
Mecklenburg-Vorpommern.
Jawohl.
Okay, so what happened in
That's
Mecklenburg-Vorpommern?
part of the Archdiocese of Berlin. Maybe that's easier to pronounce. So there was a priest celebrating at masses during Pentecost, and he was infected with COVID-19, and there are already several cases of him infecting other people. So the Archdiocese of Berlin has suspended all masses in that area of the archdiocese. So there are multiple outbreaks now after the measures have been relaxed in Germany, and they are all related to churches. So this girl is not going to mass when it's going to be celebrated with
However,
live audience. I'm just hiding.
I have a
second.
secret weapon. I'll just put her in the sacristy behind the buttons and.
Well, but if the doors open, I'm kind of attending a valid mass, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just confined.
Lauren says you should do a talk show with Father Michel Remery. Really nice priest. Yes, I know Father Remery better than I thought I would like to. No, Father Remery and I are good friends from Rome, and we go on vacation every year with 2 other priests, and we always fight, but we're still friends. Jawohl, mein Fahrrad. Lynn says,
People always make jokes about farts.
Father Leo is a little shy with Filipino cooking. He recently asked me for a bunch of Filipino recipes, and I was like, dude, you are a chef, and I'm just a home cook. Yeah.
But Lynn is not just a home cook. She is Lynn. Lynn is awesome. She's also a very good knitter.
Yes, I have my R2D2 hat.
And you have your Wars Wolf hat.
Yes, and
You wore it on
she
the
wants
square.
me to put on the hat during my R2D2 homily of last week.
Oh, why didn't you?
Because I was already crucified by some people in the chat and afterwards as well for even, daring to mix Star Wars with secret context or whatever. Oh, anyway. Also, German church is nice. Archbishop of Berlin says Bishop Heiner Koch.
Whatever.
Jawohl. And we have LDS from Tuscany. Tuscany, buonasera, come stai? Benvenuto e sono molto contento che abbiamo già parlato dei pizza con ingredienti orribili. Era molto molto difficile per me, che mi piace tanto il pizza italiano, ma nel gruppo su internet abbiamo parlato di pizza con cosa? With
Mixed grill barbecue.
mixed grill pizza, pizza con pineapple, pizza con Nutella, e le cose che devo sentire qua. Ecco. Okay, I was just talking to a friend from Tuscany, and so I was expressing my frustration about the pizza conversation of about 20 minutes ago. Do not go back into the video and watch that. You will be sick to your stomach.
Yeah. So people love the R2D2 harmony, and I was in the sacristy doing the remote controls, and I was like, don't fall off the ledge, don't fall off the ledge to R2.
Well, R2 actually has a sensor in his feet, so he knew that he was going to fall, so he stopped in time. I didn't know that. I read up on the manual. He's
You
super
read the
smart.
manual, and you say you're a geek.
I googled it.
I Googled
Doesn't that count? Oh well. Here in Malta, Mass was transmitted twice on National Malta TV, but from 13 June, churches will be open for limited parishioners under 65 years of age. Okay, they don't have an age limit here, but
I'm
I
not
don't
going
think-
anyway, because it's just too risky.
you're too old anyway, so.
I have COPD, so I have lung disease, so I really don't want to be contaminated with.
Lauren says, did you study at the Gregoriana in Rome? You speak good Italian. Sì. Ho studiato 2 anni in Italia. All right, well, you know what? We can read for
My glass is almost empty.
The glass is empty, the light is going down, so we're
Yeah.
losing. I
I
don't
need to
have
get
any
another
light.
T-shirt for another time, and I can
Yes.
show off a flip.
Anyway, it's great talking to you. I did not talk too much about Star Wars as I intended to do, but next week, stay tuned.
It's my
Let us know if you have any ideas, especially help us find people for this mass. Because I'm just limited to the audience that I have. So if you have any ideas on how to bring in more people to, not just to mass, but also to, digital pizza afterwards or digital dram, then let us know. But I was glad to read that you actually enjoy this banter, because it's just banter.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like the old-fashioned days when we would do
And
this.
you can send donations for Dram to donate at Trideo.com. You can go to Trideo.com/donate.
Don't send us bottles, just send us
Yeah.
the ability. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for being you, for being part of the community. This is the part of my work, of our work, that I enjoy the most.
Yeah.
It's just chatting, hanging out with
This
you
is
guys.
nice perks for if you're a Trideo employee. Yeah.
Absolutely, and same is true if you're the creative director of the whole bunch. Anyway, it was lovely talking to you. Have a wonderful evening. And I'm gonna stop this, and maybe I will see you online. Bye. Bye.
Bye.